Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm Donna Nelson, founder of the Adopt a Single Mom Project. And tonight I have an amazing guest with us that's going to be sharing something that's really special to the Northeast PA community. Maggie Martinelli is with me. I'll introduce her to you in a minute. If you're new to the Adopt a Single Mom Project, we are a real life community for working single moms to thrive here in Northeastern Pennsylvania and beyond. Our mission is to create a movement providing direct support to empower working single moms of Northeast PA and beyond, filling those gaps with a network of sustainable resources and support to enhance their quality of life so they can be the best version of themselves to thrive as moms and women of our community. And one of those ways that we're going to be able to help some of you working single moms here in any PA is through this match savings program. That is part of the Scranton Area Foundation and Women in Philanthropy, which Maggie is going to share with us. But let me introduce you to Maggie first. So Maggie Martinelli is the Vice President of Administration and Operations at Scranton Area Foundation, where she helps to oversee many projects, including Women in Philanthropy, the Center for Community Leadership and Nonprofit Excellence, and NEPA Moves. Additionally, she manages the foundation's restricted funds and human resources. Her master's is in business administration from the University of Scranton with specializations in operations management and healthcare management. She's also an active member of Junior League of Scranton since 2010 and has been involved with many other nonprofit organizations such as Cinderella's Closet of NEPA, where she served as the founding member and president for the first 3 years, Scranton Cultural Center at the Masonic Temple, Marley's Mission, Jewish Family Services of NEPA, and Serving Seniors. As you can hear from that, she is a community steward and advocate is her gig. So Maggie, I am so happy that you are here and that we are finally getting to share this. This has been on our agenda, if you will, for a while. And I love the timing of this as we're going into our home ownership initiative that we're working on and hoping to be a success to help working single moms get into homes and build savings so that they really can thrive and start building economic sustainability and wealth for their families. So I'm turning it over to you now. All yours.
Great. Thank you so much, Donna. Thank you for such a warm and kind welcome. I really appreciate being here. I apologize if at any point my internet gets a little bit laggy. I apologize for that in advance if that happens. But just want to thank everybody for joining in today. And as you're absolutely right, Donna, it's really perfect timing as you look to home ownership. But that's a big key goal of the program that I'm going to talk a little bit about tonight. So as she mentioned, I'm the Vice President of Administration and Operations at the Scranton Area Community Foundation. Not everybody is aware of the work that we do there. We're actually a 501c3 nonprofit. We are, tax exempt organization. We are in compliance and fully standard within, national standards of the U.S. Community Foundations. We have a mission to enhance the quality of life for all people across the northeastern Pennsylvania region since about 1954. We are stewards of money, we make grants, we serve as charitable resources, and we try to be catalysts for change and growth throughout our region. Right now, we have assets of about more than $57 million, and we operate more than 260 charitable funds. And as Donna kind of mentioned, we also lead various initiatives in our community. The main one I'll talk to you about tonight is Women in Philanthropy, but we also do the Center for Community Leadership and Nonprofit Excellence, which helps a lot of our nonprofit community build their capacity, build their ability to better meet their missions and help our community. We also do NEPA Moves, which is an equitable transportation council to help with transportation challenges that exist within this region, and even the NEPA Animal Welfare Collaborative. which helps with the bringing together the animal welfare organizations in our region. So that's a little bit about who we are. But as I mentioned, one of our major initiatives is Women in Philanthropy. It is a collective philanthropy model. So basically, what does that mean? It means it's about women giving back, giving of their dollars, giving of their time, giving of any efforts that they have to help support the programs that help transform the lives of women, girls, and their families in our community. We have over 100 women who help support women in philanthropy at all different financial and commitment levels. We have focus areas running a full gamut of areas that affect women, girls, and their families. We help with entrepreneurship and micro lending, so offering microloans to women looking to start businesses. We have Health and Wellness Initiative, particularly our Building Confident Smiles initiative, which again allows women to have restorative dental care they might not otherwise have access to. Our STEAM education efforts, STEAM standing for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math. As we know that that is where a lot of the highest paying jobs are, particularly in the future. Affordable and quality childcare, affordable and accessible housing, and what we're going to talk about tonight, which is our Match Savings and Financial Confidence Program. So, one of the things that we heard a lot when we started Women in Philanthropy is that most women are just one minor financial setback from being in a really difficult position within their lives. One flat tire, one unexpected bill, and not always in the most secure position financially. Um, that's common, especially right now with everything kind of going on within our current economy, inflation. So how do we help create more financial security for the women in our community? So we partnered with United Neighborhood Centers of Northeastern Pennsylvania. They help to provide a lot of the case management services for this program. What we do is we work with them to help ensure that the women entering this program are able to work on different savings goals. As Donna kind of hinted at, that purchasing a home, maybe making repairs within your home, maybe purchasing or leasing a vehicle, maybe pursuing an education, opening a small business, maybe just even expanding your savings, putting some money away, being in a position, as we said, where you have more financial security. So a case manager at United Neighborhood Centers works with all the women within this program to help set those savings goals, make plans for how they're going to save, and help provide some of the oversight and assistance that they need to help save that money. We also provide monthly financial confidence classes. One of the things we hear quite a lot is that there's a challenge sometimes, a disconnect about what you kind of need to know financially and what maybe is being taught in a typical school curriculum. Again, we have some amazing schools within our region, but it's a common problem that a lot of the lessons that we need to learn around finances is not always taught in a more traditional setting. So we offer financial confidence classes, everything from filing your personal tax returns, how to obtain student loans or financial aid, how do you understand rental agreements? That's a big piece. A lot of renters have rights that they're not always aware of. So how do we read those agreements in a way that makes sure that you're financially secure and not subject to any unfair behavior on the part of any landlord? How do you model positive financial behavior? So we have a really great local psychologist who volunteers her time within Women in Philanthropy. She's going to talk a little bit about how our financial behavior affects how we spend and save money. And she's also going to talk about how do you model that for your children or other people in your lives? How do you set good financial habits? We do recognizing financial abuse, credit management with a credit counselor. We bring in somebody to talk about purchasing a home, purchasing or leasing cars, banking basics, investment and saving strategies. So all kinds of topics. We do those on a monthly basis. And women in this program are asked to attend at least 8, although most women usually opt into attending more. And what we have heard consistently is that even when a woman feels like she knows the topic well, she always walks away learning something new. So that's a really great opportunity to learn a lot more. But to what point? We call this our match savings program for a reason. So as the women are working towards their financial goals, as they're working on matching, working on saving a certain amount each month, they're working towards that goal. And that goal is once they reach $2,500, or if they'd like to graduate sooner, they can. But at the $2,500 mark, Women in Philanthropy will match their savings dollar for dollar. So you raise and you save $2,500 within this program, and Women in Philanthropy will give you an additional $2,500 so that you can be that much further along in your goal. Hopefully at that point, you've taken at least 8 classes, maybe more, and you feel ready to go and turn and use that towards an expense that's really important to advancing your financial future or setting yourself up for better financial security moving forward. This program has pretty broad eligibility requirements. The women have to either live and or work in Lackawanna County. We are hoping to, someday expand that. Currently, though, you have to either live or work here in Lackawanna County, and you have to earn 300% or less of the federal poverty line. So, can't really give you a firm number on that because it really depends upon your household size. But it is something that you can easily search federal poverty line, and you can find out where your level is based upon your household size. As long as you're not earning 300% or more, more than 300% eligibility, you would be eligible for this program. So it's a really fantastic opportunity to change your life. And I know one of the things we hear quite a bit actually is that people think it's too good to be true. And sometimes it's because something like this usually is too good to be true. But in this case, we really found that it has been transformative for women who have gone through this program. We have had 101 women graduate from this program, and they have saved almost $300,000, which we have. Or excuse me, yes, they've saved $300,000. We've matched $300,000, which means it's over $500,000 that has gone back into the community, back into supporting the lives of women and their families. So it's a really wonderful, transformative program. And as I kind of mentioned earlier, we have our partner with United Neighborhood Centers of Northeastern Pennsylvania. So we work with them to help do a lot of the case management. So they're the ones that help with filling out the initial paperwork, making sure you qualify, setting those savings goals. They keep track of all the classes that are being attended, and then they'll help with the paperwork. And then at the foundation level, we help with making sure there's a speaker in every class, making sure there's relevant topics each month for those financial confidence classes. And we work to also secure the dollars to make sure that match can be made for every single woman in the program. And then the check comes directly from the Scranton Area Community Foundation via this Women in Philanthropy program. So it's a really, we've heard really amazing things from the women who have been able to go through it. We have had women who have saved to purchase homes is one of the largest reasons why women go through this program. Purchasing cars is another big reason. We even had a woman who was able to save for the citizenship fee for herself and her daughters, who then went on, to earn scholarships within this area because they were citizens. They could now get scholarships and are now heading to university as a result. So it's just, as I said, truly transformative program. And I would say the biggest challenge that we face right now is just getting the word out and making sure people know that this is here and know that they can take advantage of this program, and we want to be here to support you in that. So Donna, I'm happy to take any questions that you might have. And, hopefully if there's anything I didn't cover, I'd be happy to fill in any gaps that I didn't go through.
Yeah, a couple of things. It is such an exciting program, and I'm so happy now to be part of Women in Philanthropy and learn about all these amazing things that maybe I've heard them pass through somewhere in the community, but now to really get to understand them and be part of supporting them and getting the word out into the community as well. And so, one of the things that I was wondering is, what is the length of the program? So once someone gets in, you said, oh, they have to attend at least 8, but if they did all of them, what is the kind of start to end point?
Really, it's up to the women in the program. I mean, the amount that they can save each month could kind of help determine how long the program takes. We don't have a set deadline because we understand that people's needs change. You might be able to save a lot more early on than you can later on, and maybe you need to stretch it out a little bit longer, or maybe you're not able to save as much up front. But as you kind of go along, you're able to kind of build that up and sooner. So I would say the average time for women is between 9 months and 2 years. Um, it really just depends on how quickly you're able to save. You technically graduate once you hit that $2,500 mark. As I kind of just said, I think it is important to note that, like, let's say you need to say only save 1,000. Like, say that's what you have and you need to receive the match. You can technically, graduate early if you'd like. You don't have to wait till you get to the full 2,500. We've had instances where car came up and one was like, I got to go get my car, and so let's get this match. Let's do it now. So it doesn't have to be the full 2,500, but of course we encourage you, any women in the program to try to reach that. And an important thing that I didn't mention is that you can go through it at least twice too. We have not had any women go through a third time, but you could go through it that second time. So you have to meet the same requirements and hit the 2,500 again. But we've had some women that have had $5,000 matched in total.
That is really fantastic. Is there a grace period between the first match and the time that you can start the second?
No, no. I mean, technically, you can really start right away if you would like to. That's there's not really a required time in between. We would ask you to attend more classes at that point too. I mean, that's a big part of it. I mean, ideally, we would love for the women to attend as many opportunities as they can because, as I said, people have learned something in every single class. Sometimes we have women being like, "Well, I already know a lot about this, but I'll go to this one," and they go and they're like, wow, they learn so much. So it's just valuable information. And really, I would say the average class is about an hour every month. So it's not like a significant time commitment. Right now, we are holding all of those classes via Zoom. We might go back to in person because you can't really replicate that opportunity for people to network and get to know each other. That's so, I feel like that's, something that it's hard. You don't get the same experience via Zoom, but we also recognize that Zoom's really convenient for people as well. So it's kind of the double-edged sword there. But that said, it's convenient. It's only once a month. We do it on Tuesday night and evenings, and UNC will help arrange childcare and they'll help arrange transportation during those times. Especially if we're in person.
Well, that's really fantastic because, running an organization with working single moms, it's the biggest barrier for us is childcare. We have moms that are telling me already that they can't come on the 22nd to Mom's Night Out because they don't have childcare. It's just an ongoing challenge for us to be able to provide the high level of support that we can and that moms need when childcare gets in the way. So yeah, it's fantastic. That's really important. And I know that the foundation and Women in Philanthropy are constantly looking for ways to remove the barriers to success for women in the community. So there's 2 questions in the thread. Heather is asking, is there an income ceiling? And you did say that, but if you want to restate that.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, it's 300% or below the federal poverty line. So there's, the number depends upon what your household size is. So it's pretty easy to Google and figure out, where you stand on the federal poverty line. And as I said, if you're as long as you're 300% or below, you would qualify.
And then the second question Kat asked, which was one of mine, and that is, how and where would you apply?
Yeah, great question. So UNC, United Neighborhood Centers of Northeastern Pennsylvania, helps manage our case management. But to make it easy, I'm just going to give you our email address, in which I will be able to forward over to the requests on that. So it is info, info, at S as in Sam, A as in Adam, F as in Frank, D as in David, N as in Nancy.org. So info@safdn.org. And what we'll do is we'll get your information over to United Neighborhood Centers, into one of the hands of their case managers, to follow up with you to get, you signed up.
All right. So there's not like, if they go to UNC, there's not a link there that they will find. Is that right?
No, yeah, because it's not done via online. It's the case manager will work with you one-on-one to understand all the aspects of your situation. They'll collect your financial information, as far as, to make sure you qualify there, and your address or work information relative to the geographic guidelines. And then, ask you some questions about what your savings goals are, and making sure the program is a right fit for you. Does the timing work out for the classes and all those details? We try to, as I said, we really try to remove all the barriers that are going to come in your way, but it's a little bit more of a personal intake process than just a standard application.
Yes, absolutely. Got it. Totally makes sense, of course. And Mackenzie is asking, I guess she's asking us specifically about the income guidelines, because she's on maternity leave right now. So what are you looking at on the income guidelines?
That's like such a good question that I really should know exactly how they verify that. My understanding is that they go based off of your last tax return. But if there is recent data, that I would imagine that they would take that into consideration. As I said, we're trying to remove barriers, not add them. So, if you're in a situation right now where your income is currently lower, we would want to work with you on that.
Absolutely. All right. Mackenzie says, thank you. Okay. Yeah, so I think those were the only questions that I had, because you covered everything so thoroughly. So if anyone has any more questions, even if you're watching this on the replay, post them in the thread or the email that Maggie just gave. You can shoot her an email and she can answer them that way. But if you leave them in the thread, whether it's on YouTube or our Facebook page, I will send them over to Maggie, and we will get the answer back to you. And if anybody watching right now, if you have any last thoughts or inquiries, just put them in the comments now, so that while Maggie is here, she can answer them. Maggie, what else do we need to know about this, or maybe kind of what's on the horizon?
Yeah, so I touched on some of the other focus areas that we're doing. And some of the areas in particular, we have been working on expanding and growing. So one of the biggest things that I know matters a lot to the women in your program, is affordable and quality childcare. We're kind of in the early stages of working through some of the ways that we can have an impact in there. And so while match savings and financial confidence is one of the areas that we like to have impact, other areas are really important to us as well. And so we would love for you to stay in touch with us, follow us on Facebook for opportunities that exist there. And I would also say too, that if you reach a point which you're in a position financially to want to become a supporter of women in philanthropy, we also try to make it very accessible. You hear the word philanthropy, and I think it's really easy to think, oh, somebody like the Vanderbilts or, somebody who, has billions of dollars. And that's not really always the case. There's a lot of our supporters that actually were, have gone through, there are women who have gone through our program and they're now supporters of us. We do, it's $8.33 a month is the entry level to become a supporter of women in philanthropy. And so even if you're not somebody who is in that position today, just know that giving back can really happen at a really affordable level, and it can have real change and positive impact for women right in your community. There are lots of good things happening, and I think it's hard sometimes to know that there's good things happening when you're just turning on the news and hearing all kinds of bad things happening. I think I'm blessed because I have a wonderful job that allows me to be one of the helpers out here. And so I, also encourage that if you're in a financial position, to take a look. Our website is supportnipawomen.org. And certainly would love for you to take a look at that and learn a little bit more about what we do. We do need an update to our website. We're working with our web developers right now, so I'll be honest, I hesitate to link people over there right now, but it does have some good information about what we do, and just giving back can really happen at every level. So I just want to share that piece as well.
That was so well said. And yes, we can all, no matter what, have a way of giving back and supporting the community, and look for the helpers. I love that from Mr. Rogers. I don't know if you know that that's where that
I
came
love it.
from or not, but yes,
Mhm.
I was really lucky to grow up with Mr. Rogers. That and Sesame Street were my two go-tos. It was the only thing I was
Yep.
allowed to watch. So, but yes, look for the helpers and keep yourself surrounded by people who are going places and doing good. It
Mhm.
makes for me, I'm so particular about my circle and what I let in my head and the people that I'm around, because I want to keep growing and have the capacity, the emotional and mental capacity, to continue to serve at the level that I want to.
Mhm.
And I don't know if you know this or not, Maggie, but we have a pay it forward service model with Adopt a Single Mom for our members.
I love
So
that.
yeah, each of our members gives a minimum of either 10 hours of service back to Adopt a Single Mom. We keep it in the community,
Mhm.
or they fundraise a minimum of $200 a year. So basically, the hour of time is $20.
Yeah.
So, and or they can do any combination of that. So, and it's because, most of these moms are already givers, they're already serving in their community. But what we heard very early on before we even had a membership club was that, how do I give back? How do I get involved? And very often it wasn't, they couldn't because of a financial barrier. So we created this pay it forward to volunteer. So everyone is making a contribution. So yes.
I love that, and I think that's such a great model, such a great way of doing it. I mean, because I do think, you know, so many. I mean, let's be honest. Women there and mothers especially are just have a giving nature to begin with. So it's nothing. It's not too different than what you're probably doing on a day-to-day basis, but get that recognition for it.
Yes, absolutely. And I wanted to say this even at the top of the broadcast, is that 40% of women have less than $100 in savings. That's data I just found recently in the last month. That was alarming to me. Um, if they said 40% of single moms, I'd be like, oh yeah, I know that's true. But 40% of women, it's significant. It as a community, we should be highly alarmed by that and continue to build on these solutions, like what Women in Philanthropy is doing through this match savings program and financial confidence. So again, just a thank you for all the work that you do in all the ways that you're doing it across our community and setting such a beautiful example for women and the entire community of what one person can really do. So thank you.
Thank you, Donna. That's I really appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you, and given everything that you do within our community. Honestly, um, I'm so grateful that you joined Women in Philanthropy, and to have you as an advocate. Learned a lot about through of your work through Junior League of Scranton, another organization near and dear to my heart, women volunteering in our community. So just thank you so much for having me and for giving me the opportunity to share out our message, and hopefully we get some women signed up, and taking advantage of this, really excellent program.
Yeah, so we're going to take this video. We'll send it out to our email list. Of course, lots of, moms are working right now or running their kids around and may not see this. So we're going to certainly do our best to spread the word and reach out directly. Kat has one last question. Even if we do not qualify for the match program, would it be possible to attend the classes? Oh my gosh, that's such a good question, Kat. I was just thinking as Maggie was saying, I was like, gosh, how do we get access to those classes for our whole group? Yes.
Yeah, absolutely, Kat. That's such a really excellent program. I feel like we should. I just had to work through the logistics with our partners at UNC who help us manage the program, but I would certainly love for that to be possible, and I kind of don't see why not. I don't think we want to be limiting access to information that's really valuable. Let me work on that.
Yeah, we'll get back to you, Kat.
Yeah.
In the meantime, Kat, where do you live? Are you in Lackawanna County? Um, and you should reach out to me and let's talk about our membership. And Angela, she talked about all the ways to qualify. So be sure to go back and Kat, you're in Archibald. Perfect. And Angela, go back and listen from the beginning because she covered all of the details for that. So, all right, Maggie, thank you so much. Again, everyone, if you have any questions on the replay, post them after you listen to the video, and then we can push off some questions to Maggie if there was anything that was unanswered. All right?
Yeah, happy to help.